Hey everybody, so today I'm going to do a walkthrough of parsing big ints. They're pretty cool in this for a few reasons. One, we're going to parse big integers as number, and then we're going to follow up with multi-precision numbers, similar, but they're really big, but these are really large floating point numbers. So we'll use boost multi-precision for that, and we're gonna of course use JSON Link. All right, so I like big ints. Here we go. Let's just copy this from I have another one here, so we want, because just boilerplate. So, but I'll explain it anyways. We have find package because boost, we need it. And then we're going to fetch content, and this is going to get JSON link. And then now, let's add our link libraries, untitled 2. Yeah. And, oops, boost. All right, let's rename this. I like big ints. Oops, I guess we should give it a call. All right, so reload, let's see, make reload. It's gonna download what we need here. Shouldn't take about a moment. I like big ints and I cannot lie. All right, done. So now we need, I have a routine for that. Just a read file, really simple. Not something I wanna code up right now. But okay, so do we have clean format? All right, so what this does is it opens an F stream with the file name provided. If the file doesn't open, error, copies it to a string, returns a string. All right, so we need some arguments. Let's give an error if you don't provide it. Let's be nice. Please provide my class.json. All right, so we should make that my class.json. And let's give it some big integer numbers. I have one made already. Class 2.json. That's because we're going to do another one. Okay. Look at that. All right. So a couple special things here. One really big quoted number, one unquoted number. So that's an option in the number parser, and this could even come up with unsigned, signed, doubles. You can tell it that sometimes they're quoted or not. They should always be quoted, or they should never be quoted. Gives you some options. The default is never quoted for numbers because numbers aren't quoted, but I've seen quite a bit of JSON generated from JavaScript where, depending on how the number was calculated, if it say came from directly from a form input or something, it may be quoted, and this lets us get an actual number from both of them. All right, so we have that. We need to make a class. This should be showing. So let's make a new file, call it myclass.h, and we're going to have a vector. I'll show you why in a sec. And we need to include boost, multi-precision. Am I doing my backslashes the correct way? I sometimes forget. Yeah. CPP int HPP. Mouse, there it is. Let's appear. Let's make sure that's in our CMake too. It isn't. Okay, so now let's make our class. Let's give it a member boost, multi-precision, CPP int. It's not the fastest, but it's easy to work with. And we'll call it value. So now we need, let's firewall off the parser code from the rest of the program so that it only has to compile it once. So we'll call, and we're going to do an array of them. If you saw in the JSON here, there was 2 objects in an array. So we'll standard vector my class JSON to class, and we'll take it's good string view JSON document. We'll use that later, but we need string view now. All right, so we have vector, we have string view, we have our boost multi-precision. That's all we're going to need here. If we go back to main, we can actually in main, what we're going to do, we see if the JSON assert there. We're going to put a try catch. That way, if it fails, we'll get a nice error and not let it float up. And let's read our file. So standard string JSON document. Let's put it in here. Equals. Oh, let's make it const. My class. Oh, this is gonna not be a string. Oops, yeah. I'm sorry. Read file argv1. There. And now standard vector my class values equals parse. Now let's output them. Okay, so for this example, we're not going to serialize it because if you look over here, we're using, oh, we haven't done it yet. But we're going to be using a JSON number for this one. And the CPP int, the size is so large, we can't put it into we don't know the max size because I don't think there's a limit on the max size of it, or it's quite large that we couldn't allocate a buffer up front to serialize it and then reverse it. So what we'll do is not do that, but the second example will show us actually how to do it, where you can serialize it using the big ints built-in to string production and consumption. So this will output, let's format this error. Exception during parsing. And there's a function I created here. Oops. All right, that'll give us some nice formatted output if there is an error. And we'll do an example of that later. Now we need to do our JSON mapping and implement the parse function. So let's do new class. JSON, oops, my class JSON should be good. Doesn't look like it names them as we called it, so let's rename it because it bugs me. We won't have that. We're going to include my class.h. So in this one, we are going to do our JSON, our mapping. So we also need let's specialize the traits. Okay, so we've specialized the trait. Let's do the serialization part here. It's pretty simple. We can even go constant expression on here. Auto to JSON data my class constant turn standard forward as tuple value. There's only one member in this one, and we should put tuple here. Okay, so using type equals JSON member list. It's a JSON member. We're going to create a local value, and then it's going to be, oh, we need our boost. Okay, so we have that. So let's add it here. Boost, multi-precision. And so there's our type. Now this is the part, if in the JSON we had something's missing here. Maybe, oh, probably because we're missing that. Okay. Pretty sure it was maybe. It was maybe. Okay. Yeah, it didn't like, the autocomplete didn't like that. Okay, so we mapped it to a JSON number. The name of the member in the JSON class is called value. It's of type CPP int, and sometimes it's quoted. And this will let you choose between always, none, or something. The default is never for numbers. If you have quoted numbers or sometimes quoted numbers, this lets you keep them as a numeric type, an arithmetic type on the C++ side. And then now there's that. Let's go to our class. It's already included. And we need to do the parser side. So let's implement this, which is the simplest thing. Turn. Let's add the include. From JSON array, my class, JSON document. I think that's all we need. Let's check if it compiles. Everything's there. So it should output. We gotta supply the command line. So, all right, there's my class JSON. Let's run it. And there we go, the two numbers. And you can see they don't have the quotes any longer. Now, let's do another. Let's add a new file, my class 2.json. I got it already made here because, you know, got to prepare for these things. And it too will be an array. as you see here, this got the exponent 1200 and another 42. So, but actually let's go back to main here and let's change this. So let's throw an A in there. That's gonna get caught because our and watch what happens. It should throw an exception. And there it is. Exception during parsing, reason number, expected number to start with those things. And then it gave the value or a partial location where it was. And we could have actually paused it there. So we caught the error. Let's fix that. All right, so we have, let's get my class 2. Actually, let's use the thing. All right, and then are they all getting added to the CMake here? They are. Okay, so this one will have our structure. So we're going to need to have boost precision. Actually, let's include this in main. Autocomplete isn't caught up yet anyways. CVP. Why isn't it showing up? What was it called? I have it already done. I can't remember the full name, the full path offhand. Does that compile? It's weird there. Okay, that's working. All right. So we need our structure. Let's call it my class 2 super original, and it will have a boost, multi precision, CVP, decimal float, and it has one that's 100. We could have just put the decimal digits in, but 100's fine. That's fine. And then we'll call it value again. So now we need a vector of, let's do our parse routine. What do we call the other one? Actually, we can just copy it. Engine like that. Okay, so that is enough to do main, but this time we're actually going to serialize it too. Let's just copy and paste the whole thing. And then we only need, so that'll be the second argument. 2 and 2 and 2. And this time we will serialize values. And we'll add that routine. So that's going to actually do the serialization. Let's go back here. Standard string. Serialize my class 2. Oh, it's a vector. Yep. Okay. And so that if we compile this, it should just be a linker error. But we have to go up here. We now need 2. I'll put it here just for being prepped. Okay, so if we compile, it'll give us a linker error because we had to go and implement those. There it is. Okay, so now my class 2 JSON because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Don't need this, so we're in the header, so I'll include and include. Do we have vector here? No, but this is going to be slightly different than the other ones. So let's specialize the trait. So this one will be a JSON custom. And so we need a name. And the type's going to be boost, multi-precision, 100. And then we're going to have, I think it's what are our parameters here? We need a from JSON converter and a to JSON converter. Okay. And these are going to be callables. And we are either quoted or not. Alright, so we need to create these structs. So struct my class 2. So this will be from JSON, so it's going to return to my class 2, my class 2. Operator. Oh, no, it's going to be a boost. And it's going to come from a string view. Okay, let's add string view. And now, we'll implement those with the other method. String. So we have that. There's our mapping. That should have been called to my class 2. Was either. Okay. And then our for serialization. Just like the other one. It's a bit of boilerplate, but this can allow for some pretty advanced things. We need tuple in here. Now, over in my class 2, did we put the, oh, we did put both those. Okay, so let's go here. Let's bring over our class. Why is that? Oh, forgot the auto. There we go. Let's bring these over. We can define them. They're pretty simple too. These are all pretty simple. All right, here, return. We need here from JSON array by class to JSON document. That's all that needs there. And here we have our values, so we're just going to do the opposite. So return. It's the symmetry between the from and to methods. There, so those are done. Here we just need to go like this. Okay, so we're getting a string view and we're going to make a multi-precision number. Now the thing here is, and at some point in the future I'll find out, but I don't know if it's string based constructor. It takes a C string, requires zero terminator. It's a safe bet it is. So what we need to do is convert the string view to a string. And the parser isn't going to have a zero terminated anyways, because this is a view of the JSON document anyways. So let's just go like this. And you can cast static casts. String views. Do we have string up here? We do. Okay. And then we're going to return str.cstring. Okay, and here, what are we returning? String. So there's a method. So return value.str 100 digits, and then it takes an iOS formatter. So let's format flags. I just give it the defaults, and that is everything there. That's it. So in our private JSON header, we have a converter. They convert to and from strings. We mapped it to that there, and we have that. We have our data type there, and this is what our main is going to see. We put it there. We put it there. I'll put it. Let's compile. Where did I make any mistakes? No mistakes. Let's see how that goes. Run. Values. I think I named the member, so that's cool. It caught that. It was a required member. We could have, had we put null in this. So let's go over here. We know the first part works, and there it is. Yeah. Had this been like an underscore, like null, it would have been fine. But then it would have either default valued, or we'd need an optional or there. Okay. So let's fix that. Let's look, and there it is. So 1, 2, 3. So that's correct, because if you look at the, let's go over here, close that, keeps opening them. So my class 2.json. The 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's quite a few to get to here, and it's gonna reduce it. It looks like 13, 13 minus 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's around 80 digits there. And we asked for 100 digit, up to 100 digit number, I think. And that's it. You have error checking, you have both serialization, and you have parsing, both big ints and multi-precision. So that's been the video. I hope you enjoy it.